Hello, once again, we find ourselves in the kitchen with a cat who doesn't want to be held, but won't leave me alone. Yeah, I am in need of a reset again. I have let a lot of things slip in the house that need to just get done. I've got two birthday presents to finish. I've got to start on some Christmas presents, like crafty ones. I need to reorganise my bookshelves. I'm going on a writing retreat this weekend, so I need to go through my bookshelves to check if there's any books I want to unhaul that I can then get rid of at the retreat, and just generally rearrange them because my reading / book buying habits have changed. So those are some things that need doing. I also need to dye my hair because I desperately need to wash it, but I've really fucked up some of the purple and fucked up the colour, so I want to just whack some red over it and be done with it. Half of it. I've got a split dye thing going at the moment and I'm enjoying that, but I fucked up what I thought was going to be a cool thing for the split dye. I'll show you. Yeah. We're going to start this video with a win though, because this is the state of my kitchen and I don't like that. So I wish it would be this easy for me, but for you, it's going to be clean in 3, 2, 1. Did it! Sort of. I filled the dishwasher up as far as it could go and I put it on, so I'll come back and do the rest in a bit. But now I'm going to make myself lunch. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing on my list is I need to finish off this, which is a birthday present for my sibling, which is in 2 weeks, which this won't be up in time. So it's not spoiling it. It's fine, Lou. If you are watching, you will have already achieved this. But look how I fucked it up. I need to back it. And I tried to do a blanket stitch straight onto the back of this, whereas normally, I don't know what kind it is, it's just your basic in and out snake stitch. That's not what it's called. Tried to do that last night after having done like 3 hours of this cross stitch, trying to get it finished because it was stressing me out. And I fucked it up. So I need to undo all of this. I need to then use some old pajamas. Well, technically they're new pajamas. To use that as different backing, I am going to use the stitch that I know works that I can then cut into shape, because the problem with the blanket stitch is that the fabric kept moving because I hadn't pinned it. But if I sew it into place the way I'm used to sewing it and then blanket stitch on top of that, it will look pretty and be secure. And hopefully that is the best outcome that I was looking for. I think, yeah, that's the plan. I am definitely having a bit of a time with crafting Christmas presents and stuff like that. I am trying to make most of my Christmas and birthday presents because thrifty also is an excuse to craft, but I've worked out that I have barely made any crafts for myself this year, and I think that's something I want to change next year. I love making stuff for other people, but I think the fact that I know I am going to make it for other people or someone else, and therefore it's got to be perfect, it's got to be fantastic, that pressure. I want to carry on making stuff that is for me. So I'm trying to plough through all the crafts that I've got planned for the next couple of months as fast as humanly possible. So are you licking fucking cake crumbs? You cannot have Biscoff banana bread cake crumbs. Yeah. I would like to prioritise making stuff for myself next year, I think, because I've made a lot of crafts and I like making crafts for people. But it's been a minute since I made anything for myself, and the main thing that I'm trying to make for myself is the giant skull cross stitch that you will have seen in my hobby roulette video. And that is taking me forever. That is taking me years, and I'm not even halfway through. So I need to find myself some easier crafts. I've got a couple in mind that I want to make for myself. So I'm just trying to plough through these. I've got to embroider some hankies that I made my dad for his birthday. And I've got a couple of Christmas presents lined up that I need to... This is kind of where I'm at. I really, really enjoy crafting. Like, I'm really proud that I have finished stuff like this and other stuff, and that I now have the skills to do so and the skills to recognise that I have fucked up and I need to undo all of this. I've definitely grown as a crafter. I've definitely gotten better at cross stitch. I really want to make a bookmark caddy. I can't decide if I want to knit that or if I want to sew that. But I don't like having all my bookmarks in the tankard that they currently live in. They're all the same shape. And so when they sit in the tankard that's quite a small neck, they all just sort of clump together and I can't see any of them. And I have quite a few now, so I would like to be able to see them. So I think I want to hang like a sheet of, whether that's like knitted or fabric, and just have little pockets. Just little pockets for all the bookmarks, because I've got some that hang and some that don't, and some that are made of metal or paper. I've got a really fat like leather one in the shape of a coffin that's really cool, but I would never use as a bookmark because it's too fat and that ruins the book. But I want to display them better. I also want to display my earrings better and have, like, at the moment they're all just in a drawer in the unit I have in my dressing area. But what I think I want to do there is I have space on the rail that I hang lanyards and stuff from to maybe hang a rectangle of loosely knitted fabrics, quite just wool, just loosely knitted wool, and then I can use that to hook my earrings onto, and maybe hook my glasses onto if it's strong enough, if I like make sure the tension is strong enough. Thoughts. I have thoughts and ideas. Yo, so split dyeing your hair always seems like such a great idea until you have to refresh the dye. So that is what I'm going to attempt to do now. And I figure I'm going to do it now because I'm getting a haircut next week. It's already pretty freaking crispy. So if I crisp it up more by trying to correct the colour, at least then I'm getting it all chopped off. It's really not good. So what happened was, I have been dyeing my hair red for a hot second and I decided I wanted to go split dye. So I went split dye. The black, fine. No issues with the black whatsoever, apart from roots, but I've got dark natural hair anyway, so it's fine. Whacked purple over the red, thinking they're roughly the same, it'll be fine. And it turned, where is it at the back? This colour, which is now faded to red. It was like a little bit purpley to start with, and then it's faded to red. Yeah, whatever. I'm pretty much like, there's red in here. It's ingrained, it's not going anywhere. I thought it would be a fab idea to bleach the front half of this half, so this quarter of my head, and then whack purple over the top to make it brighter. So I'd have, yeah, my darkish bits at the back. I don't hate red, I just wanted to change. So maybe if I put lighter purple at the front, that would make it more interesting. I have never been good with bleach, and I continue to not be good with bleach. So this is where we've ended up. So I've got this stupidly light bit at the end, like, it's so light because it crisped here. It went really light on the roots because I know that happens with roots, and then just kind of nothing happened in the middle. So I hate that. I would rather have it all red than be patchy purple. So we're gonna try and fix that. I had this lying around, so we're just gonna whack it all over the top. It's the permanent one because the semi-permanent shit does nothing. But first I have to find my parting again. Right, we're gonna go into B-roll mode. Hello, it is the next day because my short clips keep corrupting. So hello, this is the finished hair. I'm happy with it. I've done the thing again where I get so excited about a hair appointment that I have to scratch the itch before the appointment, and now I'm worried the appointment's going to ruin how happy I am with my hair now. But I'm not going to cancel it because my hair really does need to be cut. It's so crispy and crusty and disgusting, and I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of breakage that just needs to be disguised. I painted my nails. Look at that. They're all, I don't know if you can see, they're all like, is that how we show? Glittery and stuff. We're not judging the state of them just yet because I haven't done the thing where I go in the shower and peel off all the picky bits that are on the side. That's where I'm at. I've just had an evening off. It's been really nice. 'Tis a new day. I am preparing for the writing retreat, but I do need to sort these shelves out, and I need to do that ASAP because I need to work out if there are any more books that I need to take along to the retreat. So here's a time lapse of me doing that. I'm happy with that. I'm annoyed that light's in the way, but whatever. That's better. That, to me, looks more full. What I've done, I didn't go with the original plan because it changed midway, as they are wont to do. So, top shelf. I've got, all the way over there, I've got ARCs. Then I've got a little section of books by my mum. So either the ones that she wrote or the ones that she published, which I think is cute. And then the rest of that shelf is kids' books, so nostalgic reads. I've got Spiderwick Chronicles up there. I've got Unseries and Unfortunate Events, that kind of thing. The ones that I'm never really going to pick up, but I want to own. Then I've covered the next shelf in like pretty art, my pretty books, because that is a shelf that is a pain in the ass to reach. So now I don't have to reach it, okay? That's the goal there. I didn't split off my YA separate from my adult just because there was quite a lot of it. And actually, I wasn't embarrassed by any of it. It wasn't any kind of book that I thought, actually, I need to separate that from the rest of my collection. It is still probably stuff I'm going to reach for recommendations videos, and I would like it closer to me at that time. I don't really know what happened in the middle. I was moving books down and I think I just didn't move books down far enough and I managed to miss a shelf and then I got distracted and then I came back and I was like, oh my god, there's a shelf that's just empty. I'm not quite sure what I was doing there. So I filled it with more stuff. So this is all my D&D stuff with some knickknacks. The rest of my D&D stuff is on the floor because it doesn't fit and it's also quite heavy. So I'm probably going to put it on the bookshelf that you are now currently sat on. I need to do a reorg of that as well, but there's so little and it's so messy. I can't quite bring myself to do that today. I've got other shit I need to get done. I might go through and just like adjust books here and there if I don't like the distribution of books that have their covers forward. But for now, I think that's a cool iteration of it all. I'm very happy with that. Gold star for me! We're missing my lovely dice box. That's normally in that corner there, but I've packed that for the trip because we're playing D&D. I need to pack board games. I need to pack. I'm going to go pack. Yeah. Is that better? Oh, is that better? The trick is finding a spot where she can still pace about in front of me and attack me without knocking you over. You want to stretch? Yeah. It is a week later. I need the cat to stop pacing. It is a week after the writing retreat. I am home. I am with the cat. I have finished work. I'm on holiday for a week. I have time to film this clip now. There's so much footage, so I'm going to start it now. The writing retreat was great. I hugely recommend it to anyone that is a writer. I recommend going away with friends for a weekend, even if it's just to play board games or do D&D or go on walks or whatever it is that you do. Hugely recommend it. I went up on the Friday afternoon, stayed the Friday night and the Saturday night. We had to share rooms because I think there were, I want to say 6 or 7 rooms, but we could sleep about 10 of us because there was 2 or 3 beds to a room. I don't think my maths is mathing, but roughly that. Loads of bathrooms, loads of bedrooms, loads of living rooms, huge dining room, huge kitchen, huge outdoor area. It was an old farmhouse we were staying in, and it had an outdoor hot tub, it had a wild swimming pool, it had a sauna, it had a barn. It had everything. I would 100% go back. It was great. I didn't do a lot of writing. I managed 400 words. I can't remember. Someone filmed a TikTok. Ellie filmed a TikTok where we all talked about our word counts and stuff. I did not do very much, but I didn't really anticipate that I would do very much. I think one thing this writing retreat has taught me is that I don't like being forced to write. I don't cope well with being forced to write. And I don't like writing for a concentrated period of time, like a weekend. I had a lot of fun jumping between various activities that we were doing. So I played in a D&D one-shot. It was nice not to DM for a minute. Thank you, Carmel, for DMing. Where I played a goblin wizard called Maggot, who is one of the NPCs from my story that I was working on and that I managed to get an outline done. I did about an A4 page of notes, just sort of ironing out some of the world building that has taken me a while to like piece together. I think the stage I'm at with the story is that I have a fairly clear idea of the world I'm setting it in. It's my Goblin Market project, if you've heard me talk about it before. And I keep coming up with lots of little like tidbits for the world building and characters and bits of plot that I want to include or like scenes that I want to include. I am, however, having a hard time stringing that all together. So I did a bit of it and I was happy with that. And I felt like the amount that I wrote was enough for me to feel fulfilled. Some of the other girls at that retreat wrote thousands of words. Like, it was impressive how much they got down on paper. And I hugely respect the dedication to the craft. I respect being able to do that. But I think I've just accepted I'm a buffet hobbyist. I like doing a little of a lot, which means I don't necessarily commit hardcore to any hobby unless I'm hyperfixating on it. So D&D is currently what I'm hyperfixating on. So I've got a couple of campaigns in the works. But then I also find D&D a lot easier to hyperfixate on rather than writing, because I feel very physically tired when I write. I think staring at the screen and typing words for a long time and then having to think and like sift the images that are so clear in my head onto the page, that is tiring as well. And that makes my eyes tired. It makes me fatigued. Like I can feel me wanting a nap. And as soon as I stop writing, I'm fine. So yeah, huge respect to everyone that like hit the goals that they were trying for and just wrote stupid amounts of words. I did a lot of sleeping. I did a lot of reading. I finished an arc while I was there, so I've got to write that review. You'll have that coming out soon, I think, maybe about the time that this comes out. It's my Snake Eater review, Tea Kingfisher. I enjoyed the experience. I really did. Would I do it again next year? I'm not sure. I know there's a lot of them were keen to do it again next year, but I think if I went, I wouldn't be going for the right reasons, because I just don't think a weekend like that fits the way I like to write. If it was a weekend where we played board games and maybe did some walks and maybe played some more D&D or watched some films, there was a Practical Magic movie night that I didn't end up watching because a couple of us got very locked onto the Stardew Valley board game, which is heinously designed. I don't recommend it. And just, yeah, I don't know, man. I was more into the board game side of things, which, yeah, isn't really surprising thinking about it. Yeah, I think I would much rather go and do like a board game weekend than I would a writing retreat. I love the idea of going on a writing retreat. I'm glad that I did it. I now know that it's not for me. Yeah, so much fun, so much food. We all contributed some food and we all came away with maybe double or triple what we came with. I don't know how that maths works, but so much food. So much food. I think what worked really well is that we nominated people to cook certain meals, and then those meals were executed to a T, and it was all like everyone had enough. Everyone really, really enjoyed the food. That worked really well if you're ever going away on a weekend, like having one person in charge of the meal. What else did we do? There were 2 gorgeous cats, barn cats, who lived in the corridor between like the main house and the little flat that we had also rented out. So they could get in through a cat flap. They chose not to. They chose to meow at the glass door where we could all see them and get into the flat. And they would get straight in our laps. They would go for the food. They would ride about on our shoulders, which I'm sure you are seeing clips of. I don't know how I'm editing these or in what order. It was fabulous. I really, really enjoyed it. Just such a good time. Like, the house itself was lovely as well. It was huge and winding, and it was like perfect vibes for people trying to write atmospheric stories or gothic stories. Lots of horror vibes. We had it started with a power cut when we got there. There was no power, and there was no power till like about, was it 7:30 in the end? So poor Chelsea was fully prepared to cook a lasagna and a barbecue so we could all eat that evening. But luckily, the moment we were trying to make that decision, the lights came on and we all screamed and scared her. It was something hugely recommend. Glad I did it. I've now had the haircut as well. In case you can't see, I've got my lovely little rat tails and short hair again, which is so nice because most of the damaged stuff is now gone and it doesn't feel awful. Long hair is great in my head. It's also a sensory fucking nightmare, and it just was starting to look a bit silly. So very, very glad I've got it cut. Love my rat tails because it means I get to still have a little bit of long hair, even if it's just a much more manageable version. And they're like fidgets as well. So they're like sentimental fidget toys. I'm gonna end the vlog here because it's been long enough that I can't actually remember where I started with this vlog. And I'm fully ready to like bring it to a close and start new video projects. I've got a couple in mind, which I'm excited for. You will see very soon, I hope. I'm running out of things to say. If you made it this far into the video, leave me some sort of writing implement emoji, like a pencil or a pen. Is there a quill emoji? I hope there's a quill emoji. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Likes are really helping videos in the algorithm at the moment, so that's really beneficial to me if you have the time and inclination to do so. I am also, I think, 4 subscribers away from 500. I would really love it if I could hit 500 by the end of the year. That would be a really nice present, Christmas present. And I think we can manage that. I think we can, even though my upload schedule has diminished a little bit. Yeah, I'm getting sidetracked again. I need to shut up and do stuff. I have to put laundry away. I'm going to go. See you in the next video.